group member 21 orang.
Oh,
Saya tak sure, mungkin ada lagi yang tadi tu cakap ada 18 yang register.
Kejap Dalam ni I tengok sekejap I tengok dalam ni je lah kan. Dalam ni ada 19. Oh, ada ramai lagi yang tak masuk
Mungkin lagi 2 orang tak register kot.
Oh, tak register lagi.
So kalau dia orang register, so kita ada 21 orang. Macam untuk
group 21.
Okay, group tadi maknanya means seorang ada, satu group akan ada 5 orang lah.
Ya, betul.
Salah satu group tu.
Betul.
Dia dah mengaku dah seorang tak register tu.
Sekejap I punya bateri habis sekejap. Okay. Okay. Boleh nampak Sekejap I check that one. Sebelum kita start, kita check dulu okay, sekejap. Ya, dalam ni baru ada 19 lah. As stated dalam SIM pun 19. Kalau ada yang belum register lagi, please register. Ada yang dah masuk lah yang belum register tu?
Akma
belum register. Please register Akma. So you akan dapat the link dalam YouFuture cepat dan you boleh buat research project cepat. Right? And the material for today pun I akan letak dalam link, and attendance pun you kena dalam link juga, dalam YouFuture juga. Okay. Alright. So let's look at research methodology. Oh, tadi ada buka. So this is SPSS. I tunjuk dekat you. So SPSS. Oops. So this is SPSS software lah. Dia ada macam-macam. So I am planning to conduct a bengkel lah, SPSS hands-on November nanti dekat Penang. So anybody interested to join? So kalau tak join nanti you kena belajar sendirilah SPSS tu. Right, nanti I akan keluarkan flyers, but in this day one is outside UiTM lah, bukan UiTM yang organize. I buat sendiri.
Ke doktor? FOC ke?
Ya.
FOC ke?
Sorry?
Free of charge ke? Ke kena bayar?
Oh tak berbayar lah. This is that one outside punya program kan, bukan UiTM lah. Outside punya program. So nanti I akan bagi flyers untuk belajar SPSS in detail lah.
Berapa hari ke?
How I buat kelas ni pun I akan tunjuk jugalah, tapi sebab kita punya masa very tight, so I afraid tak dapat tunjuk semua. You kena belajar banyakkan, you kena spend time on learning by yourself. Okay? Boleh
Berapa hari doktor?
I think I nak buat dalam 2 hari dekat Simpang 4 Penang. Hands on lah, detail, face to face. Nanti kalau ada yang request for online, nanti tengoklah. Tapi online susah sangat sebab dia hands on kan, kena tunjuk face to face juga, baru senang dapat, baru senang faham. Okay. Research methodology chapter 1. So introduction to research, then we're going to look at what is research, why we do we need research, characteristic of good research and so on lah. So kalau kita tengok ni gambar ni, boleh nampak so you can see all of these are doing research. So mungkin you nampak research ni mungkin yang duduk dalam lab, bedah mice kan, letak dalam otak mice tu, belah brain dia ke, ataupun duduk dekat komputer, do a simulation. This is also a research. And then make us asking a question using a survey questionnaire. Itu pun research juga, doing a simulation, right, using IR, ini orang kata augmented reality, right. And then this one also a survey. Dia bukan a survey, yang hujung ni dia adalah observational research. And then this is also observational research. This is a experimental research. So dia ada banyak type of research: experimental research, cross-sectional research, and case control research, or cohort research, ataupun kita panggil prospective research, right? So what is research actually? Actually, research is a process of finding solution to a problem after targeted and systematic study and analysis of material and source. Maksudnya dia ada satu proses untuk mendapatkan solution. And then untuk dapatkan solution tu kita mesti ada step by step dia lah. Kita ada systematic study, design, analysis, and we need to have some source untuk collect the data. Research is also help manager in organization to make decision at workplace lah. Macam dulu siapa yang masuk MGT648, right? So kita dah belajar macam mana nak analyse data kan. So but in research we do beyond than that, more detail, right? It help to identify where exactly the problem lies. Apa semua tu, itu adalah research. In proper definition of research is a systematic process of collecting, analyzing information known as data, in order to increase our understanding of phenomenon about which we are concerned or interested. So in research, we are trained to investigate whatever claim made by people. So for example, people says that ubat herba, okay, macam contoh traditional, kita tengok sekarang ni kita ada modern medicine and traditional medicine, right? Contoh kan. So sekarang ni dia ada satu lagi yang claim by people, claim by company. So dia kata satu produk yang baru, dia kata oh produk ni boleh menyembuhkan diabetik dalam masa 2 bulan. Dan proven dia beritahu, dia bagi testimoni. These people says that dia makan dalam 2 bulan dah tak ada macam mana, dah gula dah turun lah apa semua kan. So we need a further investigation. We need to confirm the claim whether it's correct or not correct. So that's why research is coming in. Boleh faham dia ajar kita untuk investigate and confirm the fact. Bukan kita terima saja semua fact yang dia bagi. Kita macam contoh ubat. Sekarang ni yang saya tak suka yang ubat-ubat tu lah. Dia ada jual produk ni, dia kata ni produk ni bagus, boleh kurus lah apa semua, tapi is it really proven or by hearsay saja? Hearsay. Maksudnya orang cakap saja. Itu based on orang cakap tu is not a research, is not a proven. Kita kena ada proper step to prove, a proper data set to reject the null hypothesis and accept alternative hypothesis. Right? So that is research. And what is research? Research is and what isn't. So apa itu research? Apa yang bukan research? So research, boleh nampak sini ke saya kena besarkan? So
okay.
This one better kan?
Clear.
So research is based on work of others. Right? Maksudnya dia nama research, right? Maksudnya dia bukan penemuan yang baru, tapi dia benda tu dah ada orang buat, kita base pada orang yang buat dan kita akan buat semula. Sebab tu dia nama research, bukan search. Research, kita research, kita membuat semula, kita replicate semula, kita nak prove kan whether is correct or not. So you must refer to work that has been done to provide a basis of what you plan to do. Tadi macam tadi I balik semula kepada modern medicine and traditional medicine. So kalau bezanya, kalau kita tengok modern medicine, let's say kita ambil Panadol, right, dia ada description, right? So berapa banyak, berapa lama, what is the side effect, dia bagi dekat siap-siap kan. What is the accuracy, what is the sensitivity, berapa lama ubat ni boleh tahan, semua dia ada detail tu. Dia bukan suka-suka hati letak tau. Itu untuk development of drug, dia ambil masa yang sangat panjang, stabilization lagi apa semua tu. So dia ada thorough studies tu untuk prove that medicine is good. So that's why we trust more on the modern drugs lah compared to the traditional and hearsay punya medicine. Right? So this is, kita tengok the first statement kan, dia kata, based on the work of others, you must refer to work that has been done to provide a basis of what you plan to do. That's why literature review is very important. So literature review is, we need to refer to the previous research done. Contoh, let's say kita nak tengok knowledge, attitude and practice on dengue fever prevention. So kita tengok ramai dah buat dah. Kita nak tahu what is the knowledge, current knowledge of dengue fever prevention in our country, our state, contoh, our district for example. So we base on the others' work and we try to replicate the work and we employ in our current location. And of course, it can be replicated. If the research cannot be replicated, it's not a research, right? It must be replicated to serve the basis of future research. For example, tadi saya cakap kan, orang lain dah buat kat tempat lain, so kita replicate benda yang sama dekat tempat kita. So kita nak tengok the outcome for our state, our location. It can be generalizable to other setting and the result can be true in other setting and situation jugalah. Maksudnya kalau dia pergi ke tempat lain, mesti result dia lebih kurang sama juga. It based on some logical rationale and tied to the theory. So dia bukan research yang suka-suka hati buat, mesti tied to the theory, mesti ada step theory yang kita employ. For example, what is a research design, what is a probabilities, what is a sampling techniques, a data collection method. So it must be tied to the theory. And of course, it must be doable. Kalau dia tak doable, it's not a research. Research mesti boleh dilaksanakan. And doable means that we can achieve our objective. For example, let's say you want to find the relationship between A and B, right? A and B. So it's a very specific and doable, right? So boleh achieve, right? Kita boleh measure semua benda tu. Kalau you punya objective is to create awareness, right? So to create awareness is not doable. It's not achievable. Sebab you can create awareness, but you cannot ensure the whole population can get aware about your the program that you create. It's not really achievable lah. You need to consider at your situation as well lah. And research is also generate a new question lah. It's a cyclical in nature. So bila dah habis research, dia akan create a new question. Dia sentiasa akan create a new question. Right? So it's incremental because it create a new question, is undertaken for a betterment for society. So mesti so mesti create for betterment for society lah. So other than that is not a research. Other of selain daripada poin-poin yang saya nyatakan di sini, itu bukan research. Right? Research mesti ikut this all 8 point yang saya bagi dekat sini lah. Right. So why do we need research? So we need research as a tool for building knowledge and facilitating learning, mean to understand various issues and increase awareness. It's a aid for business success. So if you want to plan something, you need to have a research. If you want to do let's say last time I in the parking industry, so kalau kita nak buka satu kawasan, we need to do a feasible study. We need to do a research whether that area is suitable to for a business expand. So a way to prove lies and support the truth. So research adalah satu untuk prove penipuan dan support the truth, right? And so on lah, dia ada banyak lagi kan. You boleh baca nanti later on, you dapat buku, you boleh baca, and you can use my slide as well lah. Slide ni I akan bagi pada hari Isnin. Boleh Isnin I akan bagi. So why do we need research? Benda yang sama lah. Benda yang sama. So to understand the phenomenon, to increase knowledge about specific inquiry by researcher, to solve the encountered problem faced by any organization that seek for solution, develop a new policy, provide a new knowledge, skills for a manager in making efficient decision, helpful in decision making, help to identify issues that require further investigation. That is research. That is why we need research, right? So, characteristic of good research. So, kita tengok sini ada banyak characteristic of good research. Good research should be originate with the question or problem. It must based on the problem, right? We know that our, let's say, problem here is the number of dengue fever is increasing year by year, month by month, day by day. So that is the problem. So we want to know whether people have knowledge in preventing the dengue fever. Kita nak tahu, is the people or resident in Perak Tengah district have knowledge or a good knowledge in preventing dengue fever. And we also want to know what is the attitude of the people or resident towards the dengue fever prevention. And we also want to know what is the practice, the real practice of resident towards dengue fever prevention. So that is the question. So we want to embark our research based on that question. Boleh Boleh faham Very simple. Kita kena create satu question. So it require clear articulation of goal. Maksudnya objektif dia mesti clear. Nanti sekejap lagi saya tunjuk. Dia mesti based on SMART, S-M-A-R-T. SMART objective. Mesti clear. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timeliness. And must follow a specific plan or procedure. Specific plan or procedure must, for example, you need to have a good research design, good sampling design, good data collection method, and so on, and data analysis as well lah. Often divide main problem into sub-problem lah. Right, and daripada main problem, we want to know the knowledge, attitude and practice of dengue fever prevention on resident in Perak Tengah district. So what is the knowledge of resident in Perak Tengah district towards the dengue fever prevention? So that is the sub-problem lah. And the most important part is a cyclical in nature. It must be cyclical. Maksudnya, setiap kali you habis satu point of research, you ada soalan lain nak tanya. Mesti sentiasa ada soalan-soalan yang baru. Dia tidak akan habis. So that's why research is never finished. So that's why people keep doing research, search and searching again. So it require collection and data, interpretation of data, accept certain critical assumption. Maksudnya, let's say you want to analyze linear regression. You want to know what is the relationship between A and B. So if you want to use linear regression, you need to clear about the assumption required for linear regression. What type of data is it numerical suitable or categorical suitable for that analysis, right, and so on. So it must be guided by specific problem, question, and hypothesis. All our execution of the research must be based on the problem or research question or objective that we create before, right? So that is our guideline, right? So kita tak boleh tanya soalan yang tak ada kaitan dengan research, dengan kita nak buat. Let's say we want to find what is the knowledge, we want to quantify the knowledge of people towards the dengue fever prevention in Perak Tengah. So we need to based on that question to develop our questionnaire lah. That is a good research, right? So, are you okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Sekejap I think I nak 2 minit sekejap. Sekejap dia datang. 2 minit
Boleh.
Alright.
Okay.
Okay, buku dah jumpa.
Akmal pasang lagu.
Lagu satu.
E-book ke?
Sekejap, tengah pilih lagu.
Yang method tu e-book. Yang SPSS tu tak jumpa lagi.
E-book free lah.
Kejap. Rasa macam kena bayar.
Bang.
Tengok e-book lagi mahal daripada beli buku betul.
E-book pino mata baca.
Okay. Boleh dah sambung?
Boleh.
Right, as I said before, kita tengok sebelum tadi, research mesti require a clear articulation of goal, right? So, dalam specifying atau formulating a goal, it must be guided by SMART objective. SMART objective means that specific, measurable, achievable, realistic and timeliness. Apa maksudnya? Specific means that you need to create a specific objective. Specific objective, let's say for example, you want to know what is the relationship between knowledge and attitude towards dengue fever prevention in Perak, resident of Perak Tengah district. It's very specific. You know, specific objective. Okay, kalau macam contoh, specific yang tadi ada nak cari relationship between knowledge and attitude. So, knowledge and attitude must be measurable. Mesti boleh diukur. Apa knowledge tu, macam mana kita nak ukur knowledge tu? So, maybe kita boleh ukur menggunakan questionnaire. Kita bagi true and false. Maksudnya kita bagi markah lah. Knowledge dia about dengue fever. So, nyamuk Aedes boleh membiak di air yang jernih. So dia kata true, so satu markah. Kalau salah, kosong markah. So kita bagi markah dekat situ based on knowledge. Attitude, we measure attitude using some skill dalam questionnaire. So it must be measurable and achievable. Mesti boleh di-achieve. Maksudnya kita bagi questionnaire tu, orang boleh jawab. So maksudnya boleh achieve lah, boleh dapat. Realistic, boleh dilaksanakan lah. And timeliness, and we need to consider timeliness or time bound, right? Maksudnya you ada 14 minggu, 7 seminar sahaja, and between next seminar you dah start buat research proposal, and then you akan create a questionnaire, akan distribute ke people and collect the data. So mesti habis sebelum week number 10. Week number 10 tu dah siap dah. Kita kena buat report lah apa semua kan, banyak lagi kerja. So kena siap within the time frame. So mesti pilih objektif yang boleh siap dalam time frame lah. That's why it's a timeliness. So objektif yang tak smart, maksudnya contoh macam tadi, you want to create awareness about dengue fever prevention. So for Perak Tengah district. So it's not really, it's a specific, but it's not really measurable. You are nothing to measure there. You tak ada apa benda yang nak measure. You nak create awareness. How to measure awareness? They are unmeasurable, right? Achievable, of course, it's not measurable lah. If you cannot measure, then it's not realistic. It's not achievable, and of course, it's out of timeliness lah. Boleh faham ah? So that is a SMART objective. you kena create satu objektif yang format. Nanti later on kita akan tengok in detail. So another characteristic of good research is, kita tengok dia start daripada bawah belakangan ni, orderly and systematic. Good research is orderly and is conducted in systematic way. This is a single most important criterion in a scientific research. Based on professional issues, the fundamental purpose of any research is to resolve any current issue of the profession. It must be based on current issues or professional issues lah. Therefore, a good research must be based on the current professional issues. Begin with a clear defined purpose. So that's why kita kena ada SMART, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, timeliness, and realistic and timeliness. Mesti only clear, defined research with a clear purpose can be conducted in effective manner. This is a good research. Emphasize to develop, refine, expand professional knowledge. So it must be research of any aim of the research, any objective of the research is to develop a body of knowledge of any profession to define the existing knowledge, right? So mesti towards to the expansion of a professional body of knowledge lah. Kalau dia still cater for the old issues, then it's not a good research lah. Good research must cater for expansion of knowledge lah. Right, direction towards development of testing theories, right? So direction dia mesti dia nak test something, right? With the data, we want to test something. We need to have a hypothesis testing, whether we're going to reject null hypothesis or accept alternative hypothesis, right? So in order to get that one, we need to have very clear objective, measurable and achievable, right? And problem solving is still same dengan number 4, benda yang sama saja. Develop empirical evidence, benda yang sama juga dalam emphasize number 4 ni, emphasize the expansion of professional knowledge, means kita nak develop empirical evidence lah for our current topics. And the last one is objective and logical in process. So you must be based on a SMART objective, and the process of handling the research must be carry out in systematically, orderly. Sama dengan nombor 1 lah. Boleh? Okay, so research topik ni banyak I cakap lah. Nanti kita akan tengok hands on. So now, barriers of doing research. Of course, doing research you need to have time constraint lah. You need to spend a lot of time in doing research, and then you need to have budget. Let's say you want to print a questionnaire to develop to distribute to the respondent. The printing questionnaire tu perlukan budget, and then do you nak distribute to respondent, you need to have time, you need to have budget, you need to have energy, right, to distribute to people. And availability of data, maksudnya based on the questionnaire you dapat data lah, and nature of decision. Right, research project. So first step, apa yang kita kena buat? Begin with the problem. Begin with the problem, and then we identify this problem can actually be hardest part of the research. So nak cari problem ni sangat susah. Itu adalah benda yang paling susah nak di-create lah. And then itu adalah benda yang pertama yang kita kena buat dalam research. Kita kena ada problem. Daripada problem tu kita nak expand untuk buat research. So, what do you think? You want me to give you a topic, a problem, or you want to find your own problem?
Give topic.
Better doktor bagi topik lah kot. Sebab kami nak cari pun susah juga.
Okay, I have a topic. We have 4 group kan? 4 group. Means that we're going to do in 4 area lah. Nanti I can discuss about topic nanti later on. In general, good research project should address important question and advanced knowledge, right? So what is a bad research? Tadi kita dah discuss tu, yang opposite adalah bad research lah. Looking something where it simply is not to be found. Maksudnya kita mencari benda yang tak akan jumpa lah. Plagiarizing other people work. Maksudnya kita jumpa satu paper dekat literature, dekat Google Scholar, and then we copy all content, apa semua kita copy, tukar nama saja dan kata hantar. Itulah plagiarizing. Plagiarizing is a academic crime in academic lah. It's an academic crime. So you can get punished. Sometimes kalau you dalam government, maybe you can boleh dapat tertik yang boleh kena buang kerja jugalah. Itu serious academic crime lah, plagiarizing. And also falsifying data is also a academic crime, right? Ada history, one professor dekat luar, dia try to prove that MMR is bad for babies. Itu MMR. So kalau you ada baby kan, ada vaksin ni kena ambil MMR, rubella, mumps dengan satu lagi apa tu, I tak ingat. So they prove that MMR vaccine is bad for babies, and then they got published dalam prestige journal kan. So after a while, people bila dah dapat benda tu, ini namakan research kan, people akan buat research, dia akan replicate. Bila try replicate, they did not get the same answer. So after do investigation, then it found that the professor, dia duduk depan komputer, dia create data sendiri, right? So means that dia kena buang kerja, banyaklah benda yang dia kena, paper ditarik balik and so on lah. So integrity is very important, and ethical work pun important dalam research. We need to very honest. If you got the non-significant result, it's also a result. It's not significant, right? Jangan takut dapat result yang tak significant. Misrepresenting information and misleading participants is also a bad research lah, but it's not really a crime, but it's a misunderstanding of the work and lack of knowledge, right? Itu saja. So research the high quality research require the scope and limitation of the work to be clearly defined. Macam tadi saya cakap, benda yang sama saya ulang, mesti clearly defined, objective, mesti smart. The process must be clear, explained, so that it can be reproduced and verified by other researchers. Thoroughly planned design that is as an objective as possible lah. Maksudnya kita akan belajar nanti research design. Kita ada beberapa research design and kita akan follow that. If you think that research design is suitable for your research, then you need to follow the design. Highly ethical standard should be applied. All limitation must be documented, right? Maksudnya kalau you tak boleh cari that participant, you need to address the limitation. If you cannot measure something, you need to address in the limitation section. Must be documented. Data are adequately analyzed and explained. Maksudnya, berapa banyak sampel you nak ambil, berapa banyak sampel from the population. You need to calculate how many sample that you require. It's not simply based on the table or any suggestion by others, authors, apa semualah. It must be calculated and technically calculate the sample size required lah. All findings must be presented and unambiguously. Tidak ada keraguan, mesti kena present dengan jelas, right? And all conclusion must be justified by sufficient evidence. Maksudnya mesti ada supporting research yang boleh support you punya result, conclusion, right? So this is about the cycle of the research process. So first we are trying to ask the question. When we ask the question, what is the knowledge of dengue fever prevention among residents in Perak Tengah District? We want to know that is the question. What is the knowledge? What is the current knowledge of people in Perak Tengah District about dengue fever prevention? And we need to identify the important factors. What are the factors? The knowledge is the factors. And then despite the knowledge, what is the attitude? What is the attitude of the people? What is the current practice? If people know that the dengue fever prevention is important, what is the practice of the knowledge? Adakah dia practice the knowledge or dia abandon the practice? Dia just know, they have a high knowledge but they don't practice in preventing dengue fever prevention. Right. And then you need to collect relevant information by doing a survey or any data collection method. And then once you got the data, you need to test the hypothesis. The hypothesis must be based on the question, on the initial question. Contoh, you kata, what is the current knowledge of resident in Perak Tengah District about or regarding dengue fever prevention? The hypothesis, the knowledge is more than, the people knowledge is more than 50% or the people knowledge is less than 50%. That is the hypothesis. So we work with the hypothesis, reconsidering the theory, ask a new question. Asking a new question. So when we ask a new question, then it's a cyclical process. Dia kena balik semula ke identifying the important factors, collecting relevant information and so on lah. Right? So criteria for a good research process. So research is extremely cyclic process lah. Macam tadi saya sebut tadi, memang dia akan bentuk cyclic process. That this isn't a weakness of the process, but it's a part of built-in error correction machinery lah. So kalau kita dah buat sampai habis, dan kita mesti akan ada penambahbaikan. Penambahbaikan itu adalah proses yang good research. Because the cyclic in nature of research, it can be difficult to determine where to start and where to stop. Right? So that is a criteria for a good research lah. Alright, I have a topic, knowledge, attitude and practice of breastfeeding among mothers in Malaysia. Right? Maybe you boleh take note this topic, ataupun if you want to do a knowledge, attitude and practice of dengue fever prevention, also can. But in our subject, what do you think? You want to focus on breastfeeding issues, hand, mouth and food and mouth issues, ataupun dengue prevention issues? Kita ambil 3 topik ni cukup. What do you think? Satu I letak this one, knowledge. Kita fokus on knowledge lah. Senang nak measure. I ajar you the simple one sekejap. I tutup my mousepad. Knowledge, attitude and practice on dengue fever prevention among residents in Malaysia. Knowledge, Right, ada 3 tajuk, right? You are free to choose any topics, right? So let's say you choose dengue fever prevention. So we will start with the data collecting information about dengue fever prevention lah. Okay, so ini topik-topik yang ada untuk you all. Nanti kita akan discuss thoroughly lah, right? So now let's look at the second slide. For the second slide, can we take a 5-minute rest? Right, during my 5-minute rest, kita ambil 10 minit lah, 10 minit. So kita akan jumpa balik 11.55. So dalam 11.55, I want you to create a group and tell me apa dia, share ebook beli mahal. I tak faham. Hashimah tolong explain. Hashimah mana? Dah keluar? Oh ini tadi yang
Tadi ada discussion pasal e-book. So diorang minta nak sharing.
ebook. You ada ebook eh?
Saya ada sir, saya ada. Telefon tak jauh.
Oh, kalau ada ebook, you share. I pun nak juga nanti you share dalam I discuss, okay?
Hafiz.
Right. So I dah beli satu buku RM50. I beli, I think RM50 lah buku dia.
RM50.
So better you belilah satu ebook kan. Kalau you ada iPad then you okay lah, iPad ke tablet kan, then you okay for ebook. Kalau you tak ada, base kepada computer or laptop, then I don't suggest you to have ebook lah. It's going to be very hard to learn to read book from computer. You need to have tablet ataupun iPad lah. Senang untuk baca. Kalau tak ada, you beli buku lah, RM50 saja, tak mahal pun. Ataupun you can go to the library and borrow a book lah. Library ada banyak buku. Tapi we're going to base on that book for your test, right? So your test will base on the book yang kena beli itulah, okay? Okay, and SPSS, don't forget you need to have SPSS as well. So kita rehat dulu 10 minit for quick break, and then you leader Muhammad Hafiz, you come out dengan group, and later on you discuss which topic yang kita nak pilih nanti. Topik yang mana, yang first ke, second ke, third. So kita akan bahagi-bahagikan kawasan lah. Berempat kawasan tu kita bahagikan 4 kawasan. Right, okay?
Doktor, topik tu kita pilih satu untuk semua orang.
Untuk semua.
Bukan each group pilih satu title.
Bukan. Kita pilih satu untuk semua dan kita work out dengan satu topik saja sehingga habis. Tapi different kawasan lah, different area yang kita nak cover.
Okay, understand.
Okay. So kita rehat 10 minit. In the meantime, you cari create group and topic. So 11.58 kita jumpa balik. Alright, boleh kita continue?
Okay, boleh Dr.
Alright, nanti group nanti tu letak dalam discussion lah. I discuss tu. Sini. I discuss, I letak. This is a research method. Okay, ada letak dalam you future, dalam I discuss, nanti you sambung lah group member you, siapa leader. Sekali dengan leader, dalam ni nampak Rabiatul Azimah, letak list nama kan, so kena letak siapa leader. Right, so nanti kita tengok. And then topic that you choose, dah discuss lah topik yang apa yang nak pilih. Maybe kita Denggi lah, Denggi senang so Denggi, and then kita akan bagikan tempat lah. Maksudnya tempat group pertama akan buat di mana, distrik mana, right? Distrik Perak Tengah ke, distrik Batang Padang ke, ataupun you nak buat
group saya mungkin Perak Tengah kot.
Boleh. So nanti kita akan discuss in detail lah, right, about the searching and so on. Right. So let's continue on second part of this chapter. Right. Basically we cover chapter number 2 as well. This one is actually chapter number 2, type of research and research design. Right. Kalau kita tengok dalam syllabus, so that's why you need to have books. You need to have books to read. Right, chapter number 2 is problem identification and type of research as well lah. Right. So type of research, we have two type of research. First, basically applied research, and another one is basic or fundamental research. So what is the difference between applied and basic research or fundamental research? Basically kita ada lagi dua nanti kita tengok. Applied research is with intention to apply the result of its finding to solve specific problem currently being experienced in the organization lah. Fundamental research is being done chiefly to improve understanding of certain problem that being commonly occurred in organization setting and how to solve them and provide knowledge. So this is the difference between applied and basic. Applied means that we apply the result of the finding to solve specific problem. Means that the basic research is already done and we want to apply in our current situation. Basically for developing a policy, or trying to, instead of exploring, we try to determine the suitable solution. For fundamental, we try to improve understanding in certain problems. So we want to know that our knowledge, the people knowledge regarding the dengue fever prevention. We want to improve our understanding our current society problem. Is there, if the knowledge is of the people is good, what about the practice of the prevention of dengue fever? So that is called as a basic or fundamental research. So applied research used to answer the specific question that has been direct application to the world. And basic research or fundamental research is derived purely from a curiosity and desirable to expand our knowledge. So knowledge, attitude, and practice is going to be lies under fundamental research, right? So basic research is the aim is not to apply the finding to solve an immediate problem at hand, but rather to understand more about certain phenomena and problems that occur in several organizations and how they can be solved. Right? This is the objective of the basic research ataupun we call as fundamental research. The main purpose is to generate more knowledge and understanding of the phenomena that occur and build theory based on the research result. Right? Where look at the example, university lecturer may be interested in investigating the factor that contribute to absenteeism in the workplace. So we want to know what is the factor that contribute to the absence of the student in the class. That is the curiosity, the main problem that we want to investigate. After gathering information through the observation and personal interview, lecturer may be identify factors such as inflexible working hours, inadequate training of employees, and how low moral as primary influence of absenteeism. Right? So for best applied research, a study of problem that concern to the organization in order to find solution that can be implemented to rectify the situation. For example, business researcher may conduct a research to learn how to improve their management system to ensure more effective and productive workforce lah. Means that they know that people banyak ambil MC. So how to improve the MC issues in the workplace, right? So itu adalah satu applied research lah. And then they need to do some remedies ataupun rescheduling ataupun reduce the workforce ataupun reduce the workload apa semua kan. So maybe one of the initiative yang dia boleh research kan dalam tu. Then political parties may conduct research to find public opinion about their policies and the likelihood of voter will support them in future election. And this one is a current issues lah. Parlimen sudah dibubarkan. So political parties banyak buat research on the sentiment about the preference of the people towards the party yang dia people nak lah, right? So identify the type of research. So we're going to study the relationship between job satisfaction and career development of secondary school teachers. So another one, you are going to find cost of dropouts in primary school of Kuala Kubu baru. That is one of the example lah. Kalau kita punya research macam mana? We are going to study the knowledge, attitude and practice, which is we want to know the relationship between knowledge, attitude and practice towards dengue fever prevention in Perak Tengah District, in Batang Padang District, in Kinta District, and so on lah. So we want to find out what is the cause of lack of practice in dengue fever prevention. Is either lack of knowledge or lack of attitude, right? Kita nak tengok dua-dua faktor tu. Adakah knowledge yang menyebabkan praktisnya kurang ataupun attitude of the people sendiri. Dia ada knowledge but the attitude is low to do a practice. Right? That is the main concern of our research. Boleh faham? So you can take note about that. So research design. So now we are looking into a hardcore of the research implementation. Research design is a plan or structure and strategy that of investigation so conceived as to obtain answer to research question and problem. So we're going to plan the structure of doing this research, right? To get the answer of our objective or our question or our problem. The plan is the complete scheme or program of the research lah. Dia mesti ada complete scheme. Maksudnya mesti step 1 nak kena buat apa, step 2 nak kena buat apa, step 3 nak kena buat apa. So semua tu kita kena design and plan lah. It include an outline of what the investigator will do from writing the hypothesis and their operational implication or to the final analysis of data. It's based on Klinger 1986, right? So research design, we need to plan for selecting the source and type of information. So where is the source information kita nak dapat? So we can go to Kementerian Kesihatan. Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia. Right. So we want to get the data. Right. So data about current situation, current data regarding dengue fever. Right. So ini adalah problem yang kita nak cari. So you kena cari kat sini lah. Can you find, so this is one of your job. You need to find the data regarding dengue fever statistics. You need to find lah mana mesti ada kat sini somewhere here lah. I pernah cari ada pernah jumpa. And then you come out dengan graph, you kena tunjuk graph tu makin lama makin naik. Right? Makin lama makin naik. That is a problem. Kita nak tunjuk itu adalah satu-satunya problem sebab dengue fever makin menaik, makin meningkat. So the question behind that graph, why the dengue fever cases increase. Is it about the lack of practice, lack of knowledge, or lack of attitude? So kita nak tahu itu. Boleh faham? Boleh take note that one. You kena tulis this one. Alright. And then we need to have a framework to specify the relationship between study variables. So what are our study variables? We have knowledge, attitude, and practice. So that is our study variable. We want to know the knowledge. We want to know the attitude. We want to know the practice, current practice of the people. Right? Boleh faham tak? Kai cakap seorang-seorang ni. Ni bagi tahu apa yang kita nak buat ni. You kena take note And then, boleh So you need to have a blueprint that outline each of procedure from the hypothesis to the analysis. Nanti kita akan tengok detail yang on that one lah. Maybe in the first initial part, you need to understand these two framework, these two instruction lah. Right. So classification of research design. There are two research design. First is exploratory research, another one is conclusive research. Exploratory research is based on the secondary data, experience survey, case analysis, and focus group. Right? Experience survey, maksudnya kita based on our people experience and we survey. And then also based on our researcher experience as well. Case analysis, we analyze by case. So this one normally done by doctors lah. Dia selalu akan case analysis of this patient. Macam contoh Alzheimer disease. The first person who found Alzheimer, nama dia apa? I lupa. Nama dia something Alzheimer lah. Dia found the patient ada senal plaque dalam brain after patient tu died lah. And then dia mengalami masalah lupa lah, nyanyuk lah, apa semua kan. And then they describe all the characteristic of the patient. That is a case analysis. And focus group, we select a group of people and we do some discussion, some interviews, right? Personal, direct interviews lah. And then we're going to use a conclusive research. And the conclusive research can be divided into two: descriptive research and causal research. Causal research is basically done in lab or field. It's experimental research. Means that we want to know the simple experiment that I taught my student to do. Very simple, right? So kita nak tengok cherek air. Kalau cherek tu besar dengan kecil, yang mana lagi cepat mendidih kan? So that is going to be some of the experimental lab field, right? And then we're going to do a descriptive research. Our research, knowledge, attitude, and practice on dengue fever prevention lies under descriptive research lah. Either we can use a secondary data, survey, or observation. We definitely going to use survey lah. I'm going to provide you a questionnaire. So you're going to print the questionnaire and calculate how many sample size that you required and collect the data. Boleh? Ada soalan tak berkenaan dengan research design?
So far okay. Kalau ada apa-apa soalan mungkin kita akan tanya pada Dr. next lah.
Alright. Alright, this is a summary of research design. This one I cannot explain now. You kena baca sendirilah this one. The purpose. So, kita tengok non-experimental, yang direct yang kita lah, descriptive. But you need to know others historical, correlational, qualitative, through experimental, quasi-experimental and so on lah. So let's look at a descriptive research to describe the characteristic of an existing phenomenon. So we want to describe what is the current knowledge of people regarding the knowledge, the dengue fever prevention. And we also want to describe what is the attitude of people, either a positive attitude or negative attitude, either a good attitude or negative attitude regarding the dengue fever prevention. And we also want to know what is the current practice. Either people are doing it, prevent the dengue fever, or doing nothing, right? But they have knowledge or they don't have knowledge. We want to know that. So time frame is the current. Maksudnya dari sekarang hingga ke beberapa masa yang kita nak collect data lah. Maksudnya dari sekarang 15 hari bulan 10 sehingga let's say bulan 12. So that is a current time frame. Degree of control over factor precision mesti they are low lah. They are no control over lah factor. Maksudnya kita tak boleh nak control. Either people lie or not lie about the knowledge and attitude. But we can see by our observation, we can see the practice. And of course, when you do a data collection, you need to do some observation in terms of practice. You need to see around the house whether the lawn is clear from dengue ataupun dia tutup air dengan dia practice lah the dengue fever prevention. Code of word, you look for research article, describe, interview, review, literature. So we're going to do a lot of literature review and interviews. Example, a survey of dating practice of adolescent girls. Right, this one our example. Another example is our research, which is knowledge, attitude, and practice on dengue fever prevention at Perak Tengah District, at Batam Padang District, or at any household and you think that is suitable for our research. Sekejap. Right, so historical, benda yang sama lah. Historical is based on past lah. And correlational is based on retrospective and prospective lah. Dia ada term that dipanggil prospective and retrospective. And that one, I want you to search. and understand what is the definition of retrospective research and prospective research, and the combination of retrospective prospective research. Boleh? Boleh faham? I want you to search by yourself. What is retrospective research and what is prospective research? And this one definitely in your test. And qualitative also apply retrospective, prospective. True experimental means that they are using experiment, they do experiment in lab or field. It should be in current. Quasi-experimental means that it based on the, this selalunya clinical study lah. Quasi-experimental. Clinical study maksudnya, contoh you pergi ke hospital, you nak dapat ubat baru. Dia akan bagi you consent lah. Either you setuju nak masuk dalam clinical study ataupun you tak nak, you nak ambil ubat yang lama. So, kalau you kata nak ambil ubat lama, you excluded from the experimental lah, clinical study. Kalau you ada dalam tu, mungkin dia akan describe you punya past history and dia akan observe for the current history lah. Boleh faham So, exploratory study undertaken, not much is known about the situation at hand lah. We don't know about the situation at all, but we try to explore. Right? No information is available on how similar problem or research issue has been solved in past. So maksudnya contoh, at the beginning of the coronavirus, we don't know much information about the vaccine, about how to cure it, and we try to explore the possible medicine or drug that can cure the COVID, right? So that one is exploratory study lah. Undertaken to better comprehend the nature of the problem, since very few studies might be conducted. So exploratory studies normally happen in clinical study lah, or experimental study. They want to explore first, and then they're going to do a confirmatory study. So you can read this one about the exploratory study, right? In detail later on. Okay, so next, common method for conducting exploratory study. So normally for exploratory study, normally we are using secondary data analysis or literature search. This one using normally when you want to do a systematic study or meta-analysis study, right? So you want to get a overview or general solution or conclusion from the problem. And experience survey is also a common method for conducting exploratory study. It's a process of gathering information from individuals who are believed to be knowledgeable about the research topic. And case analysis refer to the use of information about a situation that resemble the current situation surrounding the current research problem. This is also sama macam tadi I cakap lah. Macam mana dia determine the Alzheimer disease, right? So based on the patient, apa semua, dia based on current case study lah. Another one is a focus group. Exploratory study, before you go to the confirmatory study, we need to explore what is the common factors, what is the common solution ataupun apa yang isu-isu problem yang might rise for the problem lah. So normally 8 to 12 people representing the population under studies in formal setting to be discussed issues surrounding the research problem and valuable for testing new product design, service concept and so on lah. Selalunya focus group ni dalam business, we want to test a new product, we want to test a new design of the product, and then that is useful of the focus study, focus group. So for descriptive research what we want to do is also a statistical research lah. That's why you need to learn statistical analysis using SPSS. The main goal is to describe the data and characteristic about what is being studied. The idea behind this research is to study the frequency, average, and other statistical calculations such as association, relationship, the differentiation, and so on lah. Right? That is what we want to apply in our study regarding dengue fever prevention. So descriptive research can be divided into cross-sectional or longitudinal or cohort. So what is the difference between cross-sectional and longitudinal study? Cross-sectional data are gathered at once. Maksudnya, kita distribute questionnaire, kita sekali saja kita ambil dekat respondent. Right? Perhaps kalau ada repeated, kita over a period lah, days or weeks, a month, in order to answer the research question lah. But for longitudinal study ataupun cohort study, data are gathered across time period. Maksudnya, let's say you are enrolling to clinical studies. Clinical studies, kau pergi doktor, you ada darah tinggi, so doktor nak tengok medicine yang dia nak introduce. Let's say dia create a new medicine, they want to test a new medicine ni okay tak okay. So use sebagai bahan uji lah. So dia akan test, dia akan bagi ubat yang pertama dulu, and then dia flush out, dia akan try ubat yang kedua. Dia flush out, dan dia tengok what is the improvement. Ada improvement ada second ubat ataupun ada decrement. Kalau ada decrement, dia akan conclude lah based on the longitudinal study. Ataupun ada study-study yang lain, kita nak tengok berapa banyak patient akan mati selepas buat breast cancer punya surgery, right? So dia ada mastectomy, dia ada lain-lain lah. So dia akan tengok. So daripada day one dia dua yang masuk surgery and tak masuk surgery, yang makan ubat saja, yang chemo saja. So nak tengok berapa lama dia akan hidup. So that one is also a longitudinal study ataupun kita panggil cohort study in the clinical study lah. Right? So that is a descriptive research lah. On causal research is also known as explanatory design. The aim is to understand why the thing occur. This is our related research juga, causal research. It built under exploratory and descriptive research, right? So it's also related to our study, dengue fever, kan? It examines cause and effect of relationship. We want to understand why the thing occur, why the practice is so low, why either it because of the lack of knowledge or lack of attitude. Like that is a research that we want to do. So correlational research is ask what several event has been common, and whether knowing one event can allow prediction of another event does not imply causation lah. Dia tak tengok causation. So we need to understand the correlation is not causation lah. When we test, there is a correlation. It doesn't mean that it is a causation. Maksudnya, kalau kita kita collect data, kita jumpa, let's say there is a correlation between sales and bald people. Maksudnya orang salesman yang botak. So it doesn't mean that semua salesman kena botak, right? So even though there is a correlation, right? So you need to understand correlation is not a causation lah. Okay, then qualitative research. Kita tengok qualitative research sikit. Is examine the behavior in nature, social, cultural, and political context. Usually result in non-quantitative lah. We cannot quantify the result. We just based on a hearsay. We just based on the interviews, based on the text given, right? So experimental design and research design try to discover causal relationship. There are two types of research experimental design: true experimental design and quasi experimental design. Kita dah tengok tadi in detail dekat sini. You boleh tengok kat sini. This is the type of research design, right? So boleh baca dekat sini the comparison, right? And so on lah. Sebenarnya yang sama, I ulang balik in detail, right? So through experimental design, participants assigned to group, they don't know which group they are assigned, whether in a placebo group or the test group. Some participant dia tak tahu, dia enroll into the clinical study, the doktor bagi ubat sebenarnya di dalam placebo group. Placebo group dia akan bagi tepung lah, apa benda yang tak ada drug dalam tu lah, tapi jenis macam ubat betul. Right? Dan dia akan tengok the improvement dalam test group as well. The treatment variable is controlled by researcher, the patient, the observation do not know at all. And control potential caused by behavior lah. And then quasi-experimental research, participants are pre-assigned to group, useful when researcher cannot manipulate the variable lah. Cannot create variable, maksudnya dia based on the past ataupun historical data juga dia kena perlukan. Contoh macam tadi saya cakap breast cancer surgery, and person who not yang ada breast cancer, so dia akan assign. So this person going to be in drug A, this person going to be in drug B, ataupun satu lagi akan masuk surgery. So dia based on the past experience jugalah, past history. So patient tu makan macam mana, berat macam mana, ada hypertension ke, ada diabetic ke, right? So dia akan yang variable yang dia tak boleh nak manipulate, right? So there is a quasi experimental research. So what method to use and when? So this is the guideline. So what method to use and when? So kita tengok dekat sini, are you looking for different between groups? So if yes, then you are the participant are pre-assigned to group. Kalau yes, quasi experimental. Kalau no, true experimental. This is going to be experimental lah kalau you nak cari different between groups. But in our research, we are not going to look into different in the group. We are looking more into description and relationship. So we are no. So dekat sini, are you studying an event occur in the past? Yes or no? So we are looking no lah. Ya, kalau kita punya research kan, kita nak tengok current situation. What is the current knowledge? What is the current attitude? What is the current practice? So kalau yes, it's going to be a historical research lah. So are you studying event primary occur in the present? Yes, it's going to be a descriptive research lah. This is our main research design. So we're going to focus on research design. If no, then we look into another question. Are you studying relationship between variable, not the effect of one or to another? Yes, going to be correlation research. If no, go back and consider the research question you asking. Kalau tak, kena tengok balik research question you. Tengok betul-betul apa yang you salah dekat situ. So we are non-experimental research design. Non-experimental research design, we are going to employ a descriptive research design. Under descriptive research design, remember tadi dekat sini dia ada dua design. Sama ada cross-sectional ataupun cohort study. So we are not looking into future. We are not taking more than one time measurement. We are taking into a single point measurement. Kita nak pergi sekali, kita nak ambil result, kita nak balik dan analyze. That is a cross-sectional. Boleh faham? Boleh faham ke? Hey manusia. Student?
Kena tengok betul-betul.
You kena baca betul-betul lah. This one is very important to understand. This is very fundamental. Right? So I explain again. Nanti I akan masukkan dalam YouTube, right? You boleh tengok balik. So basic research and applied research. Kita tengok balik in glance, in summary. Basic research and research focus on academic issues with no direct concern for the applicability of the result. Also known as blue sky research. Applied research is intended to produce a result that may have practical significance, usually industry driven and problem lead lah. Okay. So type of research. So tadi kita dah tengok lah banyak lah type of research, tapi this one kita dah tahu which one lies under this which one kan. Tapi ini dia senaraikan secara list lah, deskriptif dekat sini, cross sectional, longitudinal, tapi kita tahu kan dia ada sub-sub dia kan. So qualitative and quantitative. Qualitative kita tahu mesti adjust the data collected, mesti ada very flexible in term of methodology. Itu adalah qualitative, right? Suitable for theory building, better for field where there is no strong body or of acceptance theory. Kalau teori tu belum ada lagi, dan kita boleh buat qualitative lah. Kalau quantitative, deductive in nature. Involve collecting data to test hypothesis which outline what the expected answer will be. Data are collected to test hypothesis. Suitable for theory testing and strong body of acceptance theory lah. So this is an example of the qualitative and quantitative research. So difference between qualitative and quantitative research, I ada senaraikan kat sini. Then this one I need you to read, right? Because in quantitative research, they're a bit rigid, must follow a structured design. But for qualitative research, they also have research design. They also have research design, but it's very flexible, right? So kita tengok dalam ni, boleh baca nanti, right? So research design, purpose. This one kita nak tengok detail lah. Right. Research design purpose. So for exploratory, to gain background information, to define term, to clarify problem and hypotheses, to establish research priorities. A type, case study, focus group, naturalistic, and various observation techniques. The example of exploratory design to understand problem faced by user of LRT service based on discussion session with small group of frequent user of the service led by moderator. They can be online also. This one is a exploratory design lah. So mainly using a focus group or case study lah. And for descriptive research design, to describe and measure phenomenon. So this is what we want to do. Data collection can be through survey, observation, or experiment. The example, to measure the level of information literacy among college students through a sample survey study using a structured questionnaire. Right? So this is what we want to do. We're going to have a questionnaire. We want to measure the level of knowledge, level of attitude, level of practice, right, of dengue fever prevention. And causal research design is to study relationship between variables to test the specific relationship between two or more variables. Data collection can be either survey, observation, or experiment, right? Means that kalau kita tengok example, to determine the nature and strength relationship between the level of advertising and brand loyalty to identify determinant of academic success. So this one is very causal research design is done when the descriptive research design is already done, right? That is the causal research design lah. And then content of research report. So this one later on, you need to have all of this content. Okay, boleh faham? So bila kita nak buat report nanti, research report, mesti ada 5 chapter lah. First, introduction and objective, survey and related literature, methodology, discussion of result and conclusion. So your task now, right, you akan search on dengue fever prevention. Dengue fever prevention, especially on knowledge, attitude, and practice. And you're going to read at least 10 journal. 10 journal, not from website, not from blogs, not from media social, not from newspaper. Newspaper can accept lah, boleh lah. But mainly from the journal, right? So, and then kita akan survey related literature later on. So ni I nak you punya task untuk search, literature search dululah. So nanti kita nak tengok once you dah download all the journals, right? And then you need to understand the problem, issues, develop a conceptual framework, identify a research question and a hypothesis. Nanti kita tengok research question and hypothesis lah in detail. So now principle of research design, you boleh cari juga dalam web page. This web page, I will copy and paste dalam chat room. Remember, slide ni I akan bagi dalam hari Isnin. Hari Isnin I akan letak dalam YouFuture. Ni ulangan benda yang sama lah. Okay, research jargon. Kita tengok detail So once we habis chapter 1 and 2 ni, kita dah habis dah. So you should be able to define basic term related to research and scientific method, list 8 of characteristics of high quality research, summarize 8-step research scientific method. So now, this is your task untuk jawab. So you boleh screenshot, boleh nampak tak? Screenshot and nanti you jawab. You jawab dan tak payah bagi dekat I. This is going to be your notes. Boleh? Sudah?
Boleh.
Okay. Now, I nak demonstrate sikit. So, we already finished chapter number 1 and 2. Right? So, kita pergi ke how to search. Now, tadi I tunjuk dekat you Kementerian Kesihatan kan? Ataupun you boleh pergi ke clinical penerbitan mencari data lah. Laporan, right? Untuk cari laporan dengue fever cases. So, selalunya kita akan guna scholar.google.go.com. Google Scholar. Are you familiar with Google Scholar? So,
Yes.
masuk Google Scholar. Right. Another one is we have libraries.perak.uitm.edu.my. Boleh jugalah. Apa salah? library.uitm.edu.my. Okay, this is our library, okay? Pernah masuk ke? So, you tekan our collection. Pergi ke our collection, pergi ke online database. So, online database, nanti you kena sign in. Sign in menggunakan email UiTM ataupun you punya student ID and IC. So, dia ada banyak database kat sini. Tapi at the first step, kita tak tengok ni lagi. Kita pergi ke Google Scholar. So, let's say kita nak cari knowledge. I letak macam ni knowledge, attitude and practice on dengue fever prevention. So, kalau kita tengok dekat sini, anytime dia ada 19,000 result. Right? So, the best one kita tengok since 2022. Since 2022, we have 1,600 result, all regarding knowledge, attitude and practice on dengue fever. So let me redefine. So I letak a comma, membuka knowledge, attitude and practice, kurungan, and dengue fever, betul kurang. So kat sini ada refine balik dah. Ada 143 artikel yang I boleh tengok. So kita tengok dekat sini, current knowledge, attitude and practice about dengue fever among teenage student of South Punjabi region, Pakistan. So kat sini dia ada PDF kan, kita boleh klik. So So you kena baca kat sini lah. Alright. You kena banyak membaca, at least 10 journal lah. You kena baca 10 journal. Dalam group tu ada 5 orang kan. So bagilah seorang 2. Baca dan summarize. Maksudnya summarize bukan summarize bercakap. Maksudnya summarize by tulis lah. So apa dengue tu? Apa dia punya current situation in world, Asia Pacific and so on, Malaysia especially. And then baca lagi berkenaan dengan knowledge, what is the knowledge on dengue fever prevention, attitude of people about dengue fever prevention and so on. So ini adalah Pakistan. So let's say kita nak tambah lagi argument in Malaysia. So Malaysia ada 82 result. So this one is the result. Ini Central Nepal. Tapi dia study from Malaysia juga, dia tunjuk lah. Ada juga berkenaan dengan Malaysia. So you boleh cari dan baca dan summarize. Jangan upah orang You kena buat sendiri ni tau. Kalau you upah orang dan you tak mungkin dapat faham. Alright. Boleh? So you tengoklah yang mana ada you boleh baca. Kalau macam ni tak ada PDF kan. So kalau PDF you boleh buka. This is a cross sectional study. So kita tengok. Dia provide a full...
Yang ni report dia dalam group kan?
Ya, dalam group. So you baca dulu 10 journal and then make sure journal-journal tu lain-lain lah, tak sama kan. So this one going to be your assignment juga nantilah, nanti akan bagi. So the first task yang you kena buat, you kena baca ni semua journal dulu and then tengok dalam journal tu you tengok beberapa benda. Let's say, so I nak senaraikan dan this is your task, you kena tengok beberapa benda daripada report tu. Let's say, kenapa warna hitam? First, what is dengue fever? Second, prevalence of dengue fever in world, Asia, countries, especially in tropical countries and Malaysia. Prevalence ni berapa jumlah lah. And then what is the knowledge level among participants? Juga kita akan create lah what is the knowledge level among participants. 4, copy and paste. What is the attitude level? Number 5. What is the practice? And then daripada jurnal-jurnal tu, let's say this is 4 kan? 5. Oops. Right. So ini buat dalam table tak apa. Right. Seorang 2 je buat. Tapi artikel yang berlainan, jangan artikel yang sama. Kalau artikel yang sama, so we don't have any interesting research dekat sini. Boleh faham And then what is the objective of the study? So, how, what is the sample size used? 9, how many? So, what is the sampling technique used? So I think as a start, we can do this. Korang dua journal, buat dalam bentuk table, dalam group nanti, you combine semua. Right? combine semua dan kita akan work out bersama-sama lah. Okay. Dah screenshot? Ada soalan?
Tak ada.
Boleh Okay, good. So, you cari yang ni dulu, kita summarize and then daripada sini you boleh lepas you dah dapat dalam satu group tu, then kita boleh start writing untuk research proposal. Nanti I akan tunjuk macam mana. Right? This is a simple step, very simple. Normally kalau full time student, right, I akan bagi banyak lagi, tapi this one as a start you can do. I think you boleh buat insyaAllah. Tak susah, seorang dua saja. Tapi make sure different paper different type paper. You boleh cari juga dekat sini. Tengok dekat Google Scholar ni kan. Since 2022, dia ada 82 result. Right? Maybe you boleh ambil yang hujung-hujung ataupun you boleh type anytime, right? 753 result, right? Macam itulah. So you boleh cari yang lain-lain. Okay? Keyword pun you kena specify lah what the keyword you use. Okay, ada soalan tak? Kalau tak ada soalan, kita boleh tutup kelas. And our next class going to be on when?
Doktor, satu soalan.
Yeah.
Okay, yang kita bincang sekejap tadi ni, yang ini untuk first assessment yang 30% juga?
Belum. Ini
belum.
untuk research project you. Untuk research project you. Yang ini kan? Ini untuk your research project progress. So kalau you start lambat, then you akan you tak boleh nak buat benda ni. Benda ni kena ada progress. So step 1 kita kena buat ni dulu. Step 2 nanti next class kita kena buat lain. Di sini adalah progress yang pertama yang kita kena buat untuk research project. Boleh?
Maknanya tajuk ini untuk research project yang ini dulu. Nanti yang assessment nanti lain lah tajuknya maknanya.
Assessment lebih kurang sama, tapi saya akan pilih satu paper dan akan bagi soalan lebih kurang macam ni, dijawab. So ini ada satu benda yang sama jugalah sebenarnya, tapi paper yang lain. Tapi bidang yang sama. You faham tak apa saya cakap?
So this one bukanlah yang untuk yang bukanlah yang untuk yang video presentation tu, bukan yang inilah kan?
Bukan. Ini adalah progress untuk research report you. Kan? So research report, dalam research report mesti ada dia ada stage by stage. Dia bukan terus boleh collect data. So first stage yang you kena buat adalah download 10 paper, tapi seorang dua, try to answer this question. Answer this question dalam bentuk table. Table lah, letak dalam satu Excel tu, letak tulis lah soalan-soalan kat atas, jawab kan. So seorang dua, and then leader akan compile semua jadi 10 lah. Faham tak? So daripada 10 tu, nanti kita akan summary kan dalam bentuk paragraph, essay. Faham tak? Dia punya progress dia ni. Essay tu adalah you punya research proposal. Introduction, chapter introduction dan chapter objektif nanti. Boleh faham?
Okay,
So I helping you ni untuk buat research project ni. Bukan saya suka ni.
Okay, faham betul.
And then soalan-soalan ni juga akan digunakan, of course ada beberapa soalan lagi, ada 16 soalan digunakan untuk you punya assignment. So assignment, cara yang sama juga, I akan bagi satu paper, you akan tulis all the element yang soalan-soalan ni daripada paper tu. Okay, faham?
Okay, faham.
Okay, alright, good. So kita tak buang masa, kita just ambil ni terus akan nak buat project kita. Right? And then you practice for your assignment as well. Okay. Ada soalan lagi? Dah screenshot kan? Dah screenshot kan?
Dah.
Dah screenshot.
Betul.
Ya.
Tarian 29 tu
Ya.
ada kelas. Kalau ikutkan minggu tu kelas 1 sahaja. Maknanya kelas yang ni sajalah. Boleh tak kalau kita buat awal?
Pukul berapa
9?
Boleh, tak masalah. Kalau semua setuju, okey lah. Tapi attendance must be 10:45. Boleh lah, boleh kita buat pukul 9 boleh. Nanti kita buat attendance, saya buka 10:45.
Tak apa, attendance boleh adjust. Kita klik pada 10:45 lah.
Ya, betul. Alright. So kalau semua setuju 29 kita start pukul 9 info dalam group Takut kan ada yang lain yang tak join hari ni, takut dia tak aware. Okay. I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you, Dada.
Okay,
Alright.
so.
Bye.
Bye.